Hey guys, welcome back. So in this particular video, we'll be diving deep into the laws of UX design. So we're starting with the first law, which is the law of aesthetics. So basically, the law of UX are a set of principles or guidelines formulated by pioneers in the field of UiUx design that helps designers to create interfaces that are intuitive, user-friendly, and effective. So these are like basically discoveries and laws that were created by the forefathers of UX design. So they created all these principles into law. They're actually principles. They created it into law so that it can guide you for you to actually create design that are intuitive, user-friendly, and effective. So let's dive deep into the first law. So the first law is the law of aesthetics. So anything aesthetics has to do with something pleasing to the eye, something beautiful. So the law of aesthetics simply means people tend to believe that things that looks good work better. So for example, you come to a particular digital product. It can be an app, it can be a website, a web app, or whatever, or a smartwatch application. So when you come to that platform and the platform looks very, very beautiful, you tend to believe the platform. So this is one of the reasons why company hires UI UX designers like us, or product like us, for us to come up with intuitive or aesthetic pleasing digital products to actually keep their user on the platform. Because one of the things that actually make people to trust your brand rather online is when, for example, they come to your website and your website looks very beautiful, looks very easy to use. We'll go deep into easy to use as we move on in these laws of UX. So once your website or your platform looks very beautiful, people tend to believe you, and whenever you sell any product, they'll always want to buy from you because they believe that because your platform, your online presence, which is your platform or your website, when you use that product, it'll look very beautiful. It means it's going to function well, and it means it's going to deliver well on what the services the digital product says it's going to deliver. So that's just basically what the law of aesthetics means. So despite the fact that your goal is to make your digital product, your designs to look very aesthetic pleasing, you need to also make sure it's functional. So most times when starting out as beginners, we tend to come up with designs that are looking beautiful, but they are not functional. Despite the fact you want your digital product to look beautiful, you also need to keep in mind to the functionality of the platform. So that's what the fact your product is looking for. You need to pay attention to the functionality, because if the application is looking beautiful and it's not functional, you also lose customers. So remember that the main goal of digital products is for people to make money, because no company will want to hire you as a UI UX designer for you to just look at them. They want to hire you so that you can work on the digital product, but they can use that digital product to make money from customers. I don't know if you get the link between what the user needs with what the business actually needs. So you're designing products that are going to be used by people, and majority of the time those products are used by people. At the long run, they want to make money from those digital products. So you need to keep in mind the functionality of the platform at your heart whenever you're designing. So the next law is fleet law. So the fleet law says that the time to acquire a target is the function of the distance to the size of the target. So the simple example of fleet law is buttons. So let me say, for example, you can see this diagram. You can see these two buttons here. So this first one, the button here is very tiny. So in a situation where somebody is trying to tap on this kind of tiny button, especially on a mobile app, it's going to be quite difficult for the person. So look at this other image. When the button is quite big, it's very easier for the person to tap on it. So another scenario is where, for example, when your button navigation on mobile phones, on mobile apps rather, so you can see these are called icons. The icons are joined together because there is no breathing space between each element. So if, for example, if a user wants to tap on this home icon now, they will mistakenly tap on the heart icon. So in that situation, you need to make sure that there are breathing space between each of these elements. So whenever the user wants to tap on a particular icon. For example, the user desires to tap on this home icon. The user tap on what they desire to tap, not accidentally tapping on the wrong one. So another thing you also need to note is that there are natural areas in which people's thumb naturally select things when they are using mobile devices. So as a product designer or as a UI UX designer, one major thing you need to bear in mind is how do people navigate through platform. On mobile phone, people mostly make use of their fingers to navigate in mobile apps. Rather, on mobile apps, people mostly use their fingers, their hands to tap on things to navigate. While on desktop or laptop, people make use of mouse to navigate. So in a situation where you're designing for a mobile app, you need to make sure that you can see the diagram here. We have natural areas where people can easily tap on something. So in a scenario where you want to place a button, it's very wrong. What Slipper is saying that it's very wrong for you to place a button at this top part when you know that this place, keeping it in this natural area, which is this green part, keeping it at the below part is making it very easy for the user to tap on the touch target. Very easy, because naturally, if you are to observe when users are using a mobile phone, you can see the natural areas in which their hands touch. That way they want to tap a button, all those stuff. So that's one thing we need to bear in mind. So if you have any questions so far, so don't forget to comment in the comment section. I'm always available to reply to your comment. And if you are new here, my name is Gloria Diona. I post videos every week to help beginners in UI UX design improve their skill set, and I also teach them on how they can monetize their skill set. So if these are the things you're interested in, so don't forget to subscribe to get notified whenever I upload more videos. So the next law is the Hicks law of UX. So it states that the more choice a user has, the longer it will take for them to make a decision. So this simply means there are scenarios where you'll be designing for, you don't need to bombard the user with a lot of options, because one major thing you want to do is to make sure that the user tap on a particular action that they want to tap on. So let me rephrase that so that you understand. So there are some scenarios where you might come to a particular platform, you want the user to select maybe multiple options, maybe option A, option B, option C, option D. So if, for example, the user have say options from A to Z, the user is going to be confused because they don't know the particular option to select on. But if you narrow down the option to maybe say ABC or ABCD, the user it's very easy for the user to make choice, because most times you need to make sure you design something in a way that the user will not need to think twice for them to carry out the desired action. You need to make sure that the option they have to select from is not like cumbersome, it's not much, so to avoid the way they overthink about any decision they want to make. So we have the next law, which is the law of simplicity. The law of simplicity states that people will perceive and interpret ambiguous or complex images in the simplest form possible. So this simply means that whatever you're designing, tend to make sure that your platform is simple for users to use. Then no matter how you want to be innovative, you might have an innovative idea, maybe to design a particular app or a web app or website. Don't be too innovative or to start bringing up things that people will start thinking twice for them to know how to use your platform. Make sure that your designs are very simple for a 5-year-old to understand, because simplicity is the key. So the more simple you make your designs look, you make your application look, the more easier it will be for the users to use it, and they will keep coming back to use your platform, and they will also recommend your platform to other people. So don't make the user to start wondering where they can find their way around. If you design an application and the user is wondering, how can I move from point A to point B, or the design you came up with when data product is confusing them, you have not actually solved the problem, because when you come up with a design that is confusing the user, it's not going to solve the user's problem. So in as much as you want to solve a particular need, try to make sure that your designs are simple for users to use. And one major thing you need to notice is that whenever you design, remember that when your designs are being developed, you are not going to be in the vicinity or be with the user when the user is in their platform. Sometimes you might develop an application here in Nigeria, but it can be used by somebody in US or outside the country. So you need to make sure that your design is easy to use. Wherever the user find themselves, they can actually use it without calling for your attention. There is no, most of us here, we use Facebook, we use WhatsApp. Mark Zuckerberg has never come to our house to teach us how to use Facebook. We know how to navigate Facebook by ourselves. So one major thing you need to know is that simplicity is the key, so that anybody, any age group can actually use your app without being confused. So have law of proximity. The law of proximity in UX design states that when objects are placed near each other, they appear to be grouped together. So let me say, for example, in a situation where we have different objects pop up around like this, the user might perceive, oh, this one is this old group, this one is in this old group, this one is in this old group. They can notice that these circles, they are not grouped together. They look as if they are scattered. So in a scenario where we have something like this, you can know, oh, these two are together, these three are together. Then you can see another example here. Despite the fact the shapes are different shapes, but because it's grouped together, you can know the group that they belong to. So when designing, you need to make sure that you group whatever you're grouping, because whenever people are using your the way people use it product, the way they read is that they don't read things word for word, they tend to scan. So even when they're using website, people don't read website like word for word, or they tend to like scan through things and read in a very, very fast pace. And the attention span of a user when they're using a data product online, there's this saying that is as slow as a golden fish, meaning users online, they are not usually patient enough to for example, if they come to your platform or your platform is not giving them what they want, they are moving over to the next platform. So what that simply means is that whenever you're designing anything that is related to each other, make sure you group it. It can be a text or a button. Make sure the text and button are grouped together, and the way you space your element also matters, whether for the user to know what belongs to what. If you're using an image, make sure it's grouped together to the one that is related to. So as we move on in principles of UI, you understand better. So we have a Miller's law, say that having more than several elements can create confusion and a state of disarray in the user's brain. So this, a simple way to explain law of Miller is that, remember, if you can recall, whenever you want to on your data or your Wi-Fi connection on your phone, you have to like drag down the status bar. You can notice that the way your status bar is being arranged for some Android users, even from iPhones too. For Android users, you see a touch, you see a Wi-Fi, you see Bluetooth. You can see that the way those things are arranged in that status bar is not, most times the elements are not exceeding more than 6 or 5. So what this is simply means is that whenever you are trying to like design a solution where users are to choose where to select, make sure the things you're designing for, the options you're providing rather, they don't exceed 7 to avoid cognitive load, because you don't want the user to come and start thinking or start being confused on what to select. You want to keep the options to be limited so that the user can know what to choose from and they won't be confused to search what they are actually looking for. So it's very easy when you drag down the status bar on your phone. You can see that each line, so most times you can see like 5 items in a row or 4 items in a row. Most times it might be 6 for some phones. So why it's being arranged like that is that if, for example, they put 8 elements in a row, it will be very confusing for users. So they just limit everything, then stack each of them in a row. Then vertically they have like 4 elements. Then in a row we have like 4. So that is just it, to avoid users to be confused. So we have the goal gradient law. The more you feel like the task is close to be done, the faster your work is to be completed. So a typical example of this goal gradient is in a scenario where a user is filling a form, there are some forms that when a user is filling it, for example, the user wants to fill in a job application form and the form is very long, sometimes the user will be very, very tired. As a good product designer or UI designer, you don't want to design a platform that when you are asking users for their details, they will feel very tired and they will feel very overwhelmed. They don't know where to start from. The form is asking them for this, that. So there's a better way of designing forms in the sense that the user can see exactly where they are. I don't know if you have seen any form where if you are filling the first part of the form, they will say step 1/3, meaning there is 3 more forms to be filled. So you are currently in step 1. When the user moves to the second form, the form is going to say step 2/3. If you understand what I mean by goal gradient law, comment say something in the comment section. If you don't understand, feel free to ask questions. I'm always available to reply to your comments. So that's basically what goal gradient law. So most times you need to explain the state of things whenever you are designing, so that users can actually know what is remaining, where they actually are on the form. So that's basically what goal gradient law is. So in that scenario, when a user sees that kind of state in a form, it's very easier for them not to be overwhelmed by the lengthiness of the form. Even if the form they're to fill is 5 different forms and that state is shown on the form, step 1/5 letting them know that they have 5 steps to go. So and day 1 means they're in page 1. So that's just basically about goal gradient law.